Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, we mourn the loss of Ole Miss student Andrew Mitchell, who was killed in a hit and run here on Oxford last Thursday.
Plus, 2 teens have been arrested for the shooting at a Sweet 16 birthday party that put 3 teens in the hospital.
Beautiful week here in Oxford for Dead Week. Stay tuned for more weather updates. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Seth Parento.
And I'm Jania Newsom. This evening, we join our community in the mourning of Ole Miss student Andrew Tyler Mitchell. The 19-year-old from Missouri was involved in a hit and run on Jackson Avenue in Fraternity Row, where he died on the scene. Witnesses state that Mitchell was using the crosswalk correctly when a car hit him.
25-year-old Cameron Neal Razier was later arrested after fleeing the scene. Oxford PD states that Razier's vehicle was found after gathering descriptions from witnesses. Razier was charged with leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. The Fayette County judge gave Razier a $50,000 bond. Mitchell was a freshman pursuing a degree in psychology. According to his friends, funeral arrangements have been made for later this week in Baldwin, Missouri.
2 high school teens dead after gunmen opened fire at a house party in South Hollywood. The shooting began after 12:30 a.m. in Bay St. Louis. 6 students were rushed to the hospital for their gunshot wounds. 1 remains in critical condition while 3 others are in serious condition. 19-year-old suspect Cameron Brand was arrested after the shooting and has been charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault and 2 counts of murder. The names of the victims have not yet been released, but officers state that the victims range between 15 and 18 years old. Jackson police have arrested a man who shot at a Waffle House this past week. 26-year-old Melvin Clancy is accused of using a hunting rifle to shoot into the restaurant multiple times. Though there were no reported injuries from this incident, police say that Clancy was later spotted shooting into a Church's Chicken only 5 miles away from the Waffle House, with this resulting in only 1 non-life-threatening injury.
A fight in Margaritas turned into a shooting. A woman has been charged with attempting first-degree murder and aggravated assault after firing a gun in a Mexican restaurant in Memphis. A group of women got into a fight and one decided to pull out a gun and fire it. The shooter has been identified as Tyara Horton. 2 were injured in this incident, one being shot in the hand and the other in the buttocks. Horton's court date is set for Monday.
A Mississippi school district is mourning the loss of a much-beloved staff member. Bus driver Mary Louise Carruthers McMillan, who worked for the Aberdeen School District, died this past week after the bus she was driving collided with the 18-wheeler. Monroe County Coroner Alan Gurley said McMillan died as a result of injuries sustained during the crash. After 2 shootings that took place this Sunday, Memphis mayor made a bold statement about gun control in the city. Mayor Jim Strickland made a post on social media where he said the city government and police have 0 tolerance for gun violence. Strickland also blames the court system and state law for enabling the increase of guns, low bonds, and short-term jail sentences.
The mayor is not the only one highlighting the issues surrounding gun violence in Memphis. A local high school shared their views as well. There was a school play held at Overton High School that highlighted the seriousness of gun violence. Considering the amount of school shootings so far in 2023, it is a very important topic to discuss. After the performance, a meeting was held with Memphis police and students who wanted answers to what should be done in these situations. A lot of kids are now scared for their safety. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee plans to hold a special session going over public safety in July. If you were in Oxford this past weekend, you might have noticed more traffic than usual.
We had people who drove hours to join this city in a weekend of fun.
That's right, one of Oxford's biggest festivals was held this past weekend. Although it rained, Double Decker was a huge success. From tasty food and beautiful art, trucks and tents filled the streets of the square. There was also live music from musical guests The Stews, Ashley McBride, Mississippian Jazz Ensemble, Mac and Lucy, and many more. There were tons of entertainment for everyone who had the pleasure to attend. Now, unfortunately, I was working all weekend, but it looks like it was a fun time.
Yeah, it did. I was working as well.
Oh, what a shame. Well, there's always next year.
Amen.
Up ahead, a Texas man mourns the loss of his wife and 9-year-old son following a shooting that took place at his home.
Plus, students are waiting for their final grades to be posted as a university shuts down its system in response to a cyber attack. These story and more straight ahead on NewsWatch Ole Miss.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class.
These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Good evening and welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. A Texas neighborhood is still recovering after a man grabbed his rifle and opened fire on his neighbor's home, killing 5 people, including a 9-year-old boy. Deputies state that the suspect, Francisco Oropesa, was deported 4 times after illegally entering the U.S. An FBI official said that they have devoted 250 officers and $80,000 in reward money for capturing him. Authorities plead for the help of the public in searching for Oropesa, stating that he is armed, dangerous, and could be anywhere. Before the shooting began, Wilson Garcia and 2 other men walked to Oropesa's yard to ask him to stop shooting so close to their home. After refusing, Garcia states that he told Oropesa that he would call the police. Garcia called the police 5 times before Oropesa walked to his property cocking his gun. Later, Oropesa would kill Garcia's wife, Sonia Argentina Guzman, 3 other adults, and their son, Daniel Enrique Lasso Guzman.
One of the people who died saw when my wife fell to the ground and was dying, and she told me to throw myself out the window because my children were already without a mother. So one of us had to stay alive to take care of them. And she was the person who helped me throw myself out the side of a window. But she still failed. She died. That's what happened.
The other victims included 21-year-old Diana Alvarado and 18-year-old Jose Jonathan Cesares. They were all at home to visit family over the weekend.
I miraculously managed to escape. There were 10 of us that survived. 15 of us were there, and of the 15, we lost my 9-year-old son and my wife as well. And 2 people who died were protecting my 2.5-year-old daughter and my 1-month-old son. They protected him with a bunch of clothing so the murderer wouldn't kill him too.
The wife of the shooter stated that her family and the family of Garcia never had tension and would even call each other sometimes. She claims that something had to have happened to make Oropesa snap that night.
3 teens were shot at a Sweet 16 in Canton. Witnesses stated everything was going fine and then an altercation occurred, ending in gunshots. Reporter Brian Caswell has more on the story.
What started as a celebration Saturday evening quickly turned into a crime scene.
Kids were having a good time, the music was blasting. Next thing you know, all I heard was yelling and shots fired.
Dozens of teenagers were in a party room at the American Legion building in Canton for a Sweet 16 birthday party. A witness says the party was just getting started when a fight broke out.
I heard scuffling, they fighting, and then I heard gunshots.
Dave Kinzer was in a room next door when shots were fired.
And we run around, ducked behind the bar and all that, and didn't know what was going on. Then everything broke loose. We locked the doors so nobody could get on the other side.
Partygoers say locking the doors trapped them inside with the shooters.
I'm trying to open the door, trying to help these kids escape, and they not opening the door for us. That was insane.
3 teenagers were shot. They were taken to the hospital and do not have life-threatening injuries.
How are these teenagers getting these weapons? You know, no control.
Canton police arrested 2 15-year-olds who are now facing tampering with evidence, obstructing justice, and receiving stolen property charges.
Guys getting fights used to be when I was young, they fought. Now people pull out a gun and shoot each other. It's crazy.
If you all remember, last year, rapper Kanye West made several anti-Semitic comments that cost him many deals. One of those deals was with Adidas, which had a major collaboration with West's well-known brand known as Yeezy. Now Adidas is being sued by shareholders over the failed Yeezy partnership. In the lawsuit, the shareholders accuse the company of knowing of anti-Semitic comments made by West as early as 2018 and ignoring them. They also claim that Adidas did a horrible job of limiting negative financial exposure following the end of the partnership. Adidas stated that the company rejects all claims and takes all measures to defend itself. The rapper's name does not show up in the lawsuit.
A never-before-seen Chinese military blimp was caught on satellite. The image that you are seeing was taken in November of 2022, about 3 months before the U.S. shot down a suspicious Chinese balloon off the South Carolina coast, which later was confirmed by U.S. Navy assets to be a high-altitude PRC surveillance balloon. The images show a roughly 100-foot-long blimp at a remote desert base. Aerospace experts state that the blimp is proof of a notable advancement in China's airships program. This demonstrating a more versatile and maneuverable aircraft unlike anything ever seen or known in aircraft history. As the school year comes to an end, school districts and colleges across the country begin their finals to finish off the spring semester. But the University of Virginia has had to put their semester on a pause because of a cyber attack. Virginia University has shut down its entire computer system after a reported cybersecurity attack Sunday. All final exams, grades, and assignments have been postponed for students. An official of the university states that no one should try to access the systems.
Also in May, we see thousands of high schools celebrate their proms. From their dresses to their suits, we enjoy looking at the different creative ways teens choose to express themselves. This one set of best friends from Oregon created a frenzy on the internet for their choice of vehicle to arrive in for their prom. Reporter Jeffrey Lindblom has more on the story.
Woke up and I was just ready to go.
We've been going back and forth about how nervous, but still just super hyped up that we are about it.
Sherman Bynum fell in love with tanks. Described as a bit of a random kid, he got the idea to ride to his junior prom in one. Soon after, he stumbled across Steve Greenberg, who just so happens to have one in Portland, and said it would cost about $1,000.
I'm Sherman.
And I'm Sam.
And I have a question for you. Are you a student at Campus High School? And if so, have you ever just wanted to see a live tank?
He and his best friend Sam Tatro did a TikTok, made a GoFundMe. Fast forward, here they are with Steve, who shares Sherman's passion.
I've been collecting this since high school, and I'm now 65. You know, if it wasn't for tanks and the guys that drove them and worked on them and fought with them during World War II, we wouldn't be standing here talking right now.
Sherman says compared to a typical prom ride, their tires are much better.
We don't like normal very much.
He says he wouldn't dare be caught in something like a sports car or limo. Instead, a tank, armed with friends by his side and one proud mom.
I never thought he'd pull it off, and here we are.
He's even got an escort from Portland's own Unipiper. Bagpipes, Star Wars, and flames. On his 40th birthday, he's happy to be involved too.
Making sure that Portland stays the place where people can
be who they are. So we've got Unipiper, friends, and family. Sherman's got it all, including a date.
He asked me with a sign that said, "I'd be thankful to take you to prom with me," and it was perfect.
Sherman says this started off as one big old joke.
If you see a GoFundMe for a tank, share it.
But wound up proving a point he holds near and dear.
Sherman, are you happy?
Heck yeah. Live your life to the fullest. Do whatever you want. That's what it's all about.
Jeffrey Lindblom, Fox 12, Oregon.
Now, I arrived to prom in a limo with all of my friends, but I must say a tank is a very interesting choice. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Flashes.
So chill. Feel like you get taller every time I see you. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you.
Now, this past weekend was double-decker, and it definitely was a little rainy at times.
Yes, I got rained on myself, but today's looking very gorgeous outside and the temperature feels just right.
Let's check in with NewsWatch weather anchor Michaela to see if this beautiful weather is staying with us all week. Michaela?
Well, we did have some pretty yucky weather this weekend, but that is not going to be the case, at least for the beginning of the week. So we have a current forecast of 68. We had some pretty good winds today. I remember walking to class, I was feeling it, but it's been sunny and we are not going to see any rain today or throughout the night. So moving regionally, our current temperatures, we have South Haven at 67, and just across the board, it's upper 60s as we move into the night. So going into tonight's forecast, we're going to see it's going to be pretty chilly for April. It's 44 and we're going to have some light winds, but again, clear skies and no rain for this evening. Moving into tomorrow, it's going to be the perfect weather tomorrow. It's going to be sunny, clear skies, 70, but there are going to be some pretty rough winds tomorrow. Winds are going to get up to 30 miles an hour, so just make sure to watch out for those. Going into tomorrow's temperature regionally, it's pretty much the same as today, just upper 60s, but we are going to see Oxford at 70 and Tupelo being our warmest at 72. But across the board, pretty good weather for tomorrow. Some dead week tips. I know that, so Friday we're going to be seeing a 50% chance of rain, so maybe grab a rain jacket before you head out for class on Friday. The pollen is out to play this week. It's very high, so make sure you take a Zyrtec before class. And we are all getting ready for finals, so make sure that you study hard, but make sure that you're still getting all your sleep. Moving into our 5-day forecast, as we talked about, it's going to be beautiful towards the beginning of the week. We will be seeing some rain on Friday, but nothing too crazy. And then Saturday, it's going to be our warmest day at 82. Warmest day at 82, but it'll just be cloudy, but not much rain. So it's going to be a pretty good week this week.
I'm so glad it's starting to warm up, but I'm not looking forward to that rain Friday.
No, it's going to rain, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty for the rest of the weekend, so.
I hope so.
Well, Jared, we've given enough attention to Double Decker, but what happened on sports this weekend?
Well, coming up, the baseball team finally got an SEC series win this weekend against Georgia, and Steph Curry had a performance for the ages last night as the Warriors took down the Kings in Game 7. All that and more up next in sport.
Creating a legacy takes time, takes dedication, spirit, and a greater vision. That vision starts here at the University of Mississippi. What will you be remembered by? Your character, your contributions, your friendship. Your legacy will define who we are now and who we are becoming for our state, our students, and our future. Ole Miss, build your legacy.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, how about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Welcome to Sports Watch. I'm Jay Tarofsky. Getting straight into it, the Ole Miss baseball team finally got back on winning form this weekend after beating Georgia 8-7 on Sunday. Friday, Ole Miss took home the first win of the series 7-3, but Georgia retaliated with the exact same scoreline on Saturday, setting up for a Sunday rubber game at Swayze. This game was a big tit for tat, with Georgia scoring 2 runs in the 9th to tie the game 7-7, thanks to junior TJ McCants, who got the single runoff in the 9th to make the game 8-7. Huge credit to freshman pitcher Grayson Sunier, who threw 6 of the 9 innings, 6 strikeouts, and only allowed 2 hits. The Rebel baseball team looked hot this weekend, and hopefully they can keep that fire burning as they take on Arkansas Little Rock tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you only have classes in the morning, don't forget to check that out. Moving on to the track team, the women and men's team are both ranked 25, with the women ranking 10th and the men ranking 24th after their meet in New Orleans. These new rankings mark only the 15th time that both men and women's team have been ranked simultaneously in the top 25 in the country. Both teams have had phenomenal runners, such as number 2 ranked Mackenzie Long, who ran her 100-meter dash in just 10.8 seconds, which is only 0.3 of a second off the world record, getting quite close there. Ole Miss now have a week off to prepare for the SEC Outdoor Championship at LSU between May 11th and May 13th. Moving on, an exciting announcement, as the Future of Everything Festival is tomorrow, and our very own Coach Yo is giving a talk there in the Big Apple. Coach Yo's no-ceiling message has spread across the country and now down on Wall Street tomorrow. Coach Yo had a fantastic fifth season, defeating #1 ranked team Stanford on their home court 54-49. This matchup took Ole Miss to only their 11th Sweet 16 game. This talk looks to focus on Coach Yo's position as a coach, her coaching timeline, and the progression of women's basketball moving into the future. This sounds like a really cool networking event, and if you happen to find yourself in New York tomorrow, go check out all that, including Coach Yo's talk. Over to the NBA, I think we need to give a round of applause for the Golden State Warriors last night after they absolutely crushed the Sacramento Kings 120-100 in the last night in the finals game of the series. After taking a tough loss at home in Game 6, Steph Curry and the Warriors needed to come back strong in Game 7 down in Sacramento, and that they did. Steph Curry once again put another argument of why he is the greatest of all time, as he absolutely balled out, scoring a career high in the playoffs with 50 points. This 50 points marks Curry as the highest point scorer in an individual playoff game ever. The Kings put up a tough fight, with Sabonis putting up 22 points with a bruised eye, and star player in Game 6, De'Aaron Fox, only scored 16. In the Western Conference semi-finals, Golden State take on the Los Angeles Lakers, and this is nothing new for LeBron, as he has been playing Golden State in the playoffs since his days at Cleveland. Let's see how two legends of the sport, Curry and LeBron, face off against each other on Tuesday night at Chase Center. And that's all I've got for sports. Be sure to tune into Rebel Watch on Friday at 5 for coverage on Ole Miss sports and beyond.
Thanks, Jay. Up next, we'll be talking about our favorite memories from the semester.
What a year. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Legacy isn't just about where you're from, it's about where you're going. So where are you going?
I'm going to be the first in my family to graduate.
I'm going to make a difference.
Just like my granddad.
I'm going to make the bestseller list.
And I'm going to help him get there.
I'm going to win a championship.
Again! I'm going to lock the vault! Hotty toddy!
I'm going to take the next step. I'm going to bring them to their feet.
I'm going to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Build your legacy.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Does it ever seem like some people are actually trying to destroy the planet? And the rest of us are like, hey, we need this planet. Some people may be slow to learn, but they'll eventually get the message.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Well, guys, we have reached the last Monday show of the semester.
And we have made countless amounts of memories. Michaela, what's your favorite memory from this year?
Probably the first time that I got to anchor. Seth, what's your favorite memory?
Well, my favorite memory involves myself. There was a little technical issue that made me appear on screen during a very important story.
Oh, we have to see that. Run the clip.
Oh, boy.
Missouri, two died in a school shooting this morning. A teenage girl died at the scene, and an adult woman...
Oh, boy. Wow. Now, Jania, how about you?
It's funny you ask, because it's the exact same as yours.
Run it again!
Missouri, two victims die in a school shooting this morning. A teenage girl died at the scene, and an adult woman...
Y'all can't get enough of that one, can you? Now, Jay, what's your favorite memory?
My favorite memory is being asked to be featured in the 2023 Ole Miss yearbook. And I just don't have one page, but I have a 2-page feature. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So all of my Jay Tarofsky fans, page 399 is all about your boy and all his achievements.
Now these yearbooks will be,
they'll
that's
be
all we
available.
got for tonight with NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Jenia Newsom. Be sure to keep up with us on social media, and we will see you again tomorrow at 5.
Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.
All right.